Gabriel Heater. You're about to hear a remarkable story and witness a true story of a master criminal. Now, frankly, I'm worried about one thing. Because we want you to get the whole, true story, I'm afraid some of you might mistakenly regard him as a kind of hero, when as a matter of fact, he's only a brutal, vicious criminal. Oh, he was shrewd, all right. Shrewd enough even to outsmart himself. But in the end, he was caught and he had to pay. And that man's supreme reward was life in prison. Now, watching it unfold, I realized how a man can begin by fooling himself. In time, he begins to believe he can outsmart and fool everybody. But he winds up realizing he only fooled himself, realizing he's society's enemy and his own worst, bitter enemy. And I know when it's over, you'll agree. There's nothing admirable or decent, and certainly nothing heroic about him at all. And I know you'll take off your hat to the brave men, the authorities, whose lives are dedicated to protect us and help our children avoid the same pitfalls which brought this man to his ruin.
The state of Oregon, like the rest of the nation, has felt the impact of prison riots and jailbreaks in recent years. But because of the successful efforts of Governor Paul Patterson and Warden Clarence Gladden, the citizens of Oregon today no longer live in fear of escapes and disturbances on the part of prisoners. Throughout our nation, the construction of new buildings and the improvement of penal institutions in general have not kept pace with our increasing population. As a result, bad living conditions and crowded cell blocks sometimes have incited the inmates to attempt escapes. It was at the Oregon State Prison that the most unique jailbreaks in modern penal history took place. The escapes were made by John Omar Pinson, once public enemy number 4. It was Pinson's daring actions that finally aroused the conscientious officials and citizens of Oregon to improve conditions at the state prison. The true account of Pinson's escapes is a vicious and ruthless one, and Gangbusters presents it to you now in the hope that public attention throughout the nation will be focused on our penal institutions